Shalom. All glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rahakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach the Bible correctly. Shalom to the elect 144,000 men, and shalom to the great peaceable multitude, the 1/3, the men, women, and children. Shalom. Now, according to my app, the moon app that I use, the tonight is a Sabbath. I can see the moon right now. The moon is beautiful. It's nice and perfect, and it's round. And I may be a day off. I may be a day early. But Apostle Tahar said that if you believe and you just so happen to be by yourself, you can use the moon app. You can use the moon app. Here's the moon app that I use right here. It's called Phases of the Moon. So right here, it's a full moon, Tuesday night. So Tuesday night to Wednesday night is a Sabbath. And then I asked ChatGPT, when is the Passover according to GMS, and it's April 1st. And then I kept reading more on it, and then that's when I came across, it went away now, I didn't get to save it. That's when it had a bunch of precepts and stuff like that. One of the precepts that it gave me also was Sirach 43, 6, and 8. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this and how I'm building up to my point. I'm just going to read it. It says, and the moon, Sirach 43 and 6, he made the moon also to serve in her seasons for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. So the moon has purpose. It serves in her season for certain high holy days. It says, like the Sabbath. Sabbath is a high holy day. It's a holy day. It's a holy day. It says, from the moon is the signs of the feasts, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. It decreases in a new moon, because the new moon, right now it's a full moon, so it's nice and bright. But then when it gets into the new moon, the moon is still there, but you can't see it. So the light decreaseth in her perfection. The month is called after her name, so moon means month, increasing wonderfully in her changing. From the new moon, when you don't see it, to the full moon, increasing wonderfully in her changing, increasing in light, the full moon, being an instrument of the armies above. That's the point I want to get right there. That's when I read that part. So the moon is also an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. So what's the armies above? Let's just ask ChatGPT. What's the armies above? What does the Bible mean, the armies above, according to GMS? That's what we're going to type. All right, so I typed in, according to ChatGPT, what's the army above in the Bible according to GMS? According to the teaching of GMS Great Millstone, formerly known as Great Millstone, the phrase army above in the Bible is usually connected to spiritual powers in the heaven. That's dope. Not human soldiers. The key scriptures they often use is Isaiah 24:21, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones, which is Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, starting off with the top banking families. Those are Esau, Edoms, the Amalekites. Those are Amalekites over there in Israel. Those are the high ones. that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. Okay, but I'm really looking for armies above. Okay, that's dealing with that. Let's see what else. The war in heaven. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for chariots. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see if they mention anything about chariots. How about this? How about this? Let's ask him another question then. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's go back to the scripture real quick. See, I asked a better question. Ecclesiasticus 40. Then why am I bringing all this up? Ultimately to get here. Right here. It says Brazilian amateur astronomer captures an object rising from the lunar crater, which is the moon. I'm going to get there. So it made me think like, according to Yahweh Sharatazah, it paused it at 11:44 seconds, 144. It says Ecclesiasticus 43 and 8, the moon is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven, being the instrument of armies above. So let's see the armies above. According to Great Millstone, yes, what the world calls UFOs are not aliens, but are understood to be chariots of the Lord, meaning the angelic vehicles of Yahweh, God, and Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, okay? However, they make an important distinction. The army above in Isaiah 24 and 22, we read that. We've already read that. And the last, which is the host of the high ones that are on high, is usually interpreted by GMS as the wicked spiritual forces, wicked forces. All right, Esau and his forces. That's what it is. Those are the high and lofty ones. But continuing on, let's go to the Lord's chariots. UFOs equals the Lord's chariots. GMS views. Great Millstone teaches that UFOs are actually angelic chariots, vehicles of the angels, the transportation of King Yahweh Shai. They connect this to Ezekiel 1, Ezekiel's vision of the wheel within the wheel. That's a chariot. That's a UFO. Psalm 68 and 17, the UFOs of God, the chariots of God, are 20,000s, even thousands of angels. Let me see. Revelations 19, Hamashiach returning with his armies of heaven. That's a good one. So the Lord's armies above are the angels. Those are the Lord's armies above. Those are his armies. And I find it interesting that Ecclesiasticus 43 and 8 says that the moon is also an instrument of the armies above. Because when you go to this article here, look at this video for edification's sake, and then we'll shut it down because now my phone's at 2%. Look at that object. Look at that UFO coming out of the moon. The moon is also an instrument for the armies above. Here's another one. This was March 26, 2020. Look at that. The moon is also the instrument of the armies above. Those are the chariots of the Most High, man. Esau ain't never got that close to the moon. My phone's finna die, so Lord's will, you were edified. Shalom. But there you go. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm going off in that scripture, but the moon is also an instrument for the armies above. And that's just so amazing. Those will you edify.